Who are you? Where's Dave?
I'm your wife. Who's Dave?
What? Okay. Once again, we get that sweet, sweet title card reminding us that we're not watching the Sony movie that is as sad and as long as Jared Leto taking a shit. And speaking of weirdos and their poop, Steven wakes up once again but forgets he is tied to the bed and is thwarted in his apparent sprint to the bathroom, or I guess the loo, which translates to place of squirting in Old English.
Locum squirting.
He attempts to talk to himself in the mirror but gets nothing interesting and heads to work, but it's upside down. Unfortunately, the museum is roped off because somebody absolutely trashed the place of squirting. The security guard says he's about to watch the footage of the incident, and Steven is like, "Can I watch?" And the guard is like, "Sure, I don't care. I'm a security guard at a museum." And he calls Steven Scotty, which is something he did in the first episode. And I'm wondering if there's a third personality involved. Like, maybe that is who asked out the hot museum lady? Scotty, you dog!
Hello.
Before my alternate personality wakes up, I want to talk to you about the greatest mobile game of all time. That's right, I'm talking about Raid Shadow Legends. You can download it right now for free on PC or mobile if you click the link in the description of this video or hit the QR code. When I have full control of my body, my favorite characters are probably Ithos, because he's like a friggin' nuclear elf that does insane damage, or Raglan, because, you know, she can go heal the other characters if they've gone out and slain too many orcs and gotten hurt in the process. Regardless of the character, I just love Raid's intensely detailed graphics, and honestly, there's nothing more satisfying than using a spear to stab the ground and conjure up death upon my foes. And if you haven't played Raid Shadow Legends, the best thing about it is how freaking huge it is. It's like a whole console game, but on your phone. There are hundreds of champions, all sorts of cool artifacts, the lore is super deep and cool. It is truly mind-bogglingly massive. This month actually marks Raid's 3-year anniversary, and there's going to be celebrations all month long. Not everything has been released yet, but they've already got Arbiter skins, and look how cool those are. There's seriously never been a better time to get started, and if you use the link or my QR code, you can get all kinds of new stuff if you're a new player. It's like $40 worth of cool stuff. We're talking free champions like Miserycord, Tiger Soul, and Romero, 10 Magic XP Brew, 10 Force XP Brew, and 10 Spirit XP Brew. And those specific rewards are only available for the next 30 days or so and only for new players, so get on it. Sign up right now. Click the link in the description so I can destroy you in the game, which I could probably do with or without full control of all of my limbs. Anyway, they watch the footage, and though they see Steven running around and screaming, they do not see what he's running from.
Egyptian jackal. It was a jackal.
A jackal! Jackal! It's a jackal! It looks like a jackal! 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 It's a jackal! Jackal!
I've heard it all now.
The security guard angrily calls Steven a
Donut.
and tells him that Larry in maintenance is going to be pissed at him for trashing the place of squirting. And see, Steven is addicted to janitors. I wasn't wrong. It's just, an episode early. Vindicated! Anyway, Steven gets fired and told the museum won't press charges, but also he should probably see a doctor. But instead, Steven sees the crazy golden living statue man on the street and decides that he needs to find the storage unit associated with the key that he found in his wall so he can see what's in there and prove that he's not mad. Now, I'm no doctor in this YouTube series, but what exactly could he find in there to prove that he's not crazy? Oh, thank God, it's just a bunch of fetish gear I wear when I sleepwalk around the town at night as my alternate personality. I thought it'd be something weird. Discovering what your alternate personality has been up to doesn't negate that you have an alternate personality. And after much searching, Steve stumbles upon a storage unit defended by extremely heavily armed guards and is led to a storage unit where he discovers a cot, some military-looking stuff, and most importantly, a duffel bag full of various currencies, a passport for one Mark Spector, and the gold bug, which starts floating around the room in a way that causes Steven to audibly, out loud, to nobody, exclaim,
So you have a compass. You're not pointing north.
"How strange!" Because everybody can tell which direction is north from inside a storage unit facility. As one might expect, Mark appears again on the semi-reflective surfaces of the walls and reveals that, he serves as the avatar of Khonshu, the ancient Egyptian god of the moon. Mark carries out Khonshu's bidding, and together they protect the innocent by fisting the guilty with justice, is, I believe, the phrase they keep using. And if there's anything I learned from the movie Avatar, that is hot. Steven doesn't like that, so he grabs the duffel bag and runs to turn himself into the bobbies. But on the way, Khonshu chases after him in a classic motion lights activated by invisible demon horror sequence that ends with Steven ass to face with Khonshu. More like God of Moon Een. Am I right?
Okay, we are just about ass to ankles back here.
Then there's a weird freeze frame, and now Steven is running outside, but he falls in the street and is almost run over by Layla, riding a motorcycle. He gets on her bike, and she reveals he used to get on a lot more than that because she is his wife. Steven is a bit surprised by this, but then he takes Layla back to his flat anyway because, I don't know, man. They spend a really, really long time sort of dancing around the fact that Steven is not, in fact, Mark. They discovered that they both know a lot about Egyptian hieroglyphics and French poetry, so is Steven like some sort of hybrid of her? Like, is he half a manifestation of her personality or something? I don't know, but she's not having it either way because she also proffers divorce papers because, well, technically Mark apparently wanted a divorce, but forgot to actually sign the papers that he mailed her. Oops! Then Layla notices the gold bug and says she can't believe Steven has it, and he's like, I mean, I don't want it, you take it. And she finally realizes he's not Mark and is like, but don't you remember our adventures? Remember our adventures!
Our adventures.
Then the Bobbies show up and say that Steven has stolen something, and he's like, oh, I don't have it because Layla has jumped out the window and she took the gold bug with her. And so the Bobbies say that they're going to take Steven downtown to the Bobby station, but I'm skeptical that they're real Bobbies because neither appear to be wearing bras. Anyway, turns out they're not free boobied Bobbies after all, and they drive Steven to some random neighborhood and get out of the car. Then Mark and Steven argue for a bit, and Arthur shows up and he's like, gotcha, we left the walkie-talkie on, so now we know your secrets. Arthur walks Steven through a neighborhood that he gentrified with his cultists and plops out a good bit of exposition over some yummy lentil soup. So, Arthur is a former avatar for Khonshu, and he knows that Steven can see and hear him, even though nobody else can. And though Khonshu is running around trying to smash things and yell about justice, he can't really interact much with the physical world in any significant way except through his avatar. Arthur claims that none of the other gods respect Khonshu and have banished him or something. And besides, his whole I'ma kill people after they've done something bad is totally lame. Unlike Amit, who, again, pre-crimes all over people and murders them before they've been able to do something bad. But then Steven points out, like, he wants to murder his boss a lot, but would never do it, so he should not be judged for thoughts. That's not fair. And also, like, do you guys kill kids? And Arthur's like, I mean, it's not my favorite thing to do, but as Amit's avatar, you gotta do what you gotta do. And also, some kids are buttheads, you know?
Just be normal!
And Arthur wants the gold bug from Steven because it is a compass that leads directly to Amit's tomb. Arthur wants to get in there, wake her up, and let her judge the whole world. Oh, and also Arthur's cane possesses some of Amit's power, which is, I guess, a nice bonus for its primary purpose, which is supporting any limbs gained from, say, filling your Crocs with glass.
These are the Crocs that I would wear if I was feeling gray and under the weather.
Then, all of a sudden, Layla just freaking shows up out of nowhere and is like, yo, I've got the gold bug. And she and Steven start running away even though they're literally fully surrounded by cultists. It is a very James Bond escaping Spectre moment.
Cuckoo.
Layla does kick one guy's ass though, so that's nice. You'd love it. Big smile. Arthur shoves his staff into the ground, creating what appears to be the second coming of Thanos' butthole, and out of which crawls another jackal dog thing that, man, I just hope gets friggin' brutalized, am I right? I just wish it was a golden retriever or something. So now they're being chased by the good boy, but again, only Steven can see it.
Jackal.
A jackal!
Not Layla. Which brings up a weird thing. Can Arthur see the jackal? He can't see Khonshu, but Steven can. So how will Arthur know when the dog has fully crawled out of the purple rectum? Does he just assume it takes about 15 seconds? Or because he's an avatar of Amit, can he see the jackal? But then why would Steven be able to see the jackal if he's a Khonshu avatar? I know it doesn't matter, but these are the things that keep me up at night, and I want to sleep.
A jackal! Jackal! It's a jackal! It looks like a jackal! 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 It's a jackal! Jackal!
Layla tells Steven to summon the suit, but he's like, I have no idea how to do that or even what you're saying. And then the dog knocks Steven out of the window because Steven keeps refusing to give Mark control of their body because Mark is mean, and apparently sometimes he murders archaeologists. But on the way down, Steve does manage to summon the suit by just sort of asking the air, and it turns out to be a fly-ass suit indeed.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
Although Steven sucks at fighting, he does give it a fair shot alongside Layla, and eventually he goads the jackal into a wicked haymaker before still, getting plowed into a lollywagging. Mark finally convinces Steven that, yeah, alright, he should give up control. So Mark takes over and transforms the suit from a dapper terrorist plantation owner to the mummy demon we know and love from the final 30 seconds of the first episode, and he runs from the scene with the jackal in hot pursuit. We are then treated to 5 or 6 glorious white cape man jumping in the moonlight shots that appear lifted from some sort of sad Assassin's Creed cutscene, before he eventually tricks the jackal into getting impaled on a tiny steeple like that guy from Hot Fuzz. I am very happy that dog died. Thank you, Moon Knight. You are truly the hero that we deserve.
Batman, what the f?
Mark transforms back to regular Oscar Isaac and screams a bit because he dropped the gold bug, which made him very upset. And then Arthur picks up the gold bug from a homeless man who he then murders with justice judging or whatever. Then Mark looks in a mirror and Steven is like, wow, I do not like being trapped in the mirror realm. And Mark is like, yeah, but you get used to it. And besides, once I'm done repaying this life debt I have to Khonshu because he saved her life at some non-specific time in the past, I'll leave you alone forever. And also, I am worried that the Khonshu's next avatar is going to be Layla, but we will cross that bridge when we get to the bridge. Then Mark gets mad that Steven doesn't accept this cogent response and he kicks the shit out of the mirror. Then Khonshu shows up physically and basically just says all the things Mark just said. Life debt, final job, Layla's the next avatar, etc. I'm not sure why we needed that again, but did you notice that Khonshu's head is just floating there? That's how you know he's a god. Only gods have no necks. Like that. Then Khonshu is like, get in, loser, we're going to Amit's tomb. And we cut to a sweaty, topless Mark drinking enough
Champagne to fill the Nile.
which is convenient because, yeah, now they're in Egypt.
The Nile.
Oh, and cool. Those directors have also made The Endless and Synchronic, which are 2 trippy sci-fi films that very much rip. Glad Marvel tapped them for all these trippy sci-fi talking scenes. Well, I guess my week is finished.